watch Hand Egg. The game is on Twitch. I don't know how that changes anything, Bandit, but thank you for letting me know. So what? You knew the Tesla thing was today, though. Yeah, but I knew this Hand Egg game was today, like 6 months ago. It means we can have a watch party. I still haven't figured out how to do that, man. What is the man in the hat telling us about Hand Egg? But Hand Egg is overrated. I like it, so.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Rocket Guy. You guys love the clickety-clack noise, don't lie. Are you ready for another loss? Okay, I'm running away now. I don't know, man. Are you ready for another win? Oh, wait. Your team doesn't win. You get the refs to help you. And before anybody said, yeah. Game recognized game. Patriots fan. I know when the refs are helping the teams, don't I? By that logic, right? Yeah, shut up. Boom. Roasted you at your own game. All right. Yeah. Now what? Now what? Now what are you going to do? Frick your team. You stupid purple team sucks. You can take that skull and you can jam it right up your butt. Sorry. Yes, I'm still very bitter about it. I don't know if you could tell. Geek's like, guess what? My team sucks. So what are you going to say now? If you had told us the truth, we would have told you to cram that blue pill right up your butt. Free. You called this free.
Hey.
Ah!
I need the Mustang key. Is it in the house? Did I walk all the way out here for no reason?
Yeah, you walked right past it. It's in the mudroom.
There's a lot of crap in the back of my car. So, I wasn't sure I wanted to drive it to the store. So all that crap's gonna jiggle around. No? You think it'll be okay?
Are you going for like a full grocery run or what?
No. I'm just going to get coffee, but...
Wind? You're just going to get coffee?
Yeah, but that toolbox and all that crap is back there.
The toolbox ain't going nowhere.
Alright. There's Fago back there.
I'm trying not to think about it.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Alright, I'll just try the fusion then, but my head gets chopped off by loose toolbox parts.
Why do you think you constantly live in a Final Destination movie?
I don't know, because I strategically didn't watch the Final Destination movies because I knew how my brain works, but yet...
I have another toolbox for the shop. Brimo's dad gave it to me when we went to Michigan.
And so there's the part that attaches from the small toolbox to the bottom toolbox, and it's just like a metal sheet, and I'm just like, if I get in an accident, something's going to it's going to fly and chop my head off.
Yeah, water. Yeah.
Discovery.
Sebi!
Hey, Sebi!
Sebi is also mad.
I found this on the web.
What did you find?
Flying cars
Discovery,
will never
go
be
and throttle up.
safe, either as cars or as aircraft. Because Siri heard me say, if there was a car accident, assuming a
Discovery,
fly
go
was
and throttle
inside the...
Did you leave the door open?
No!
Then why did the door just slam when the
I
wind
don't know!
blew? You left the door open.
I did not! Listen, I won't tell chat what you did.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Don't chat about your mistakes.
Yeah, well, guess what? You let all the heat out.
No, I didn't. It's fine. I'll be back in a second.
Why are you shutting the door?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
See? These are mixed signals. Shut the door. Don't shut the door. Don't shut the door. Huh? What am I supposed to do with this?
Are you drunk? Maybe you shouldn't drive.
I'm fine. I was reading Rocket Guy's message, and I didn't even know he had a fiance. So congratulations, Rocket Guy. Whenever that happened.
Yeah, I don't know, Rock Guy. It's very strange. The risk aversion is a lot higher.
As of last month. Aww!
Oh, no way, dude.
Congratulations!
Right on. No, give me other hand. Everybody said, EJ, you put a ring on it. EJ, you put a ring. I did. Look. It's right there. See it? Look at it. Look at it. It's ugly, isn't it? Wait, what? That's awesome, Rocket Guy. Congratulations, dude. About damn time. Kiss the ring. Kiss the ring. Rocket Guy and Rocket Gal. So how'd you guys meet? Now when, baby?
Bruh.
The house is our baby right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good answer. You just did a moon landing in IVA. What do you want? What do you want? Poem? School?
Cool.
I bet those nerdy girls really dig your big cranium.
I'm leaving now. Chat, if I get Final Destination, it's because EJ wanted coffee.
Shut the door.
No!
You. Ah! She left the door open. You did leave the door open. Nice, Panther. Alright. Space station modules. You got a hole in your chest. So? Alright. What's today's goals? Let's go and check to see. So I was working on the truss segments here. Alright, let's go over here. Alright. Not the hold music? Alright, alright. Element, are you here still? Are the modules done? No, not necessarily. I'm working on the truss segment. I'm figuring out the integration mechanisms for the truss segments. We gotta test putting them together and stuff. Yes, sir? Oh, okay, good. Song sucks. So we really, I know this doesn't look like much, dudes. That song sucks. Sorry. So I know these don't look like much, but these took a long time to get right. So I'm working on the truss structure for the space station. The modules aren't done yet, but we got to work on module mounting points, and then we got to work on making our S0 truss segment into basically a service module for the station, or like a small service module for the station. So this thing's gonna need a probe core, and it's gonna need propellant tanks for so the shuttle can put it up in. I mean, the shuttle can put it up in space, and then it's gonna leave it there, and it'll station keep and whatnot. So we got to give it some kind of propulsion system here, and that will serve as the root part of our space station. Railroads Online music spotted. You know what? Iger, we haven't listened to... We haven't listened to that in a long time. Where are you? I guess not. I forgot that. Oh yeah, I forgot that Heist doesn't have it on YouTube. Never mind. It also needs a bunch of struts to go down to the first module. Did that plan change? That plan hasn't changed. The next thing that we need to do... The dual keel. We have to come up with the base mounting points for the dual keel station. So basically where the truss goes up like that. Now, the thing is, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure that how this is going to work with the hex structure here. Railroads Online, the game I bought to play with you and you stopped playing it, Kappa. You got me. Truss segment looks good, Sile. Yep. Sweet Potato, hey, I found a working K20C2 online, so I'm going to buy it and make adapters for K20 parts so I can get those sweet independent throttle bodies. My guy, that's going to sound mint. I don't know, maybe we'll give it another shot, dude. There's just too much drama to stream it, man. Anyway, so the keels, the two vertical truss segments here, we got to figure out an attachment point here, and they need to be like Space Station Freedom, they never really got into technical blueprints here with the dual keel design for this. They never got into technical blueprints for it, so we never really got to see exactly what this would have looked like. So, you know, this right here is supposed to be the ISS's truss, right? It's supposed to be the truss segment from the ISS. We're going to have to modify it and kind of use our best guess what we think Space Station Freedom's truss segments were supposed to look like. We're going to kind of have to think, I don't know, figure it out. Figure it out, man. I don't know. Just figure it out or something. So that space station didn't have a bunch of useful parts to it, did it? What do you mean, Willie? Yeah, Freedom would have been the dual keel Freedom space station would have been absurd. This is on Astronautics. There's a bunch of sweet pictures. They wanted to build satellite servicing bays. That's what the keel was for. And, oh, that picture's dope. Yeah, go ahead, sweet. Yo. Yo, that's tight. Oh, dude, that's gonna sound ridiculous. That's tight, dude. That's tight. That's gonna scream. That's gonna dude. I know it's an intake, right? It's not gonna, you think exhaust is gonna make sound. No, if you have a short intake like this, it makes a ridiculous noise, like. Yes, it sounds like that. Trust me. It's gonna be freaking sweet, dude. This suck. Where's the air filter? No air filter with ITBs, dude. I mean, you could put a little screen on the Venturi, but that's about it. It'll absolutely have no horsepower, but it'll look cool. Nah. Sweet. Get that, put a header on it, and you'll be good. That'll wake it up real nice. It sounds like a dying goat, yeah. Alright, so... Did I see a Mugen logo on that ITB? No. Yeah, so S-Master, you can put screens on the front of this. That's why that lip is there on the outside of the Venturi. But yeah, dude, this is sick. Look at the butterfly valve linkage. Oh, that's so cool. Anyway, back to the space station. So, yeah, we're gonna need to... Let's just work on the core module for now. Okay, that's what we'll do. And I have basics for it there. For science, it's a good video, by the way. Is that Brule? Yeah, it's Steve Brule. Huh. That's a... It's gonna make a lot of torque. Look at the torque curve. No freaking way. Oh my goodness. Look at the torque. Look at the torque. Look at the spike in torque. That's hilarious. Why such a riser? Those are called intake runners, guys. The longer the intake runners are, the better laminar flow you're going to get into the engine, because the air has time to kind of stabilize and it's not disrupted going into the motor. Better laminar flow, like aerodynamics, the better laminar flow you can get going into your motor, the better. The more torque you're going to make on the low end. It only makes low end torque. On the higher end, because it's basically a vacuum after that, it doesn't really matter. So what is actually the benefit of having individual throttle bodies per intake versus one main one? Once again, Buck, it's airflow. ITBs can flow air way faster because you're not pulling from a plenum. There's no plenum. You just pull from atmosphere. And the atmosphere is your intake plenum. That's funny as hell, Dread. All right, let's go. So, I should have the things that Mutter helped me with here. Check this out, guys. So, we have a new flag texture here, and it's got to be around here somewhere. Today is one of those nothing is going to get done days, huh?
Hello?
Hello.
I have bad news.
What?
There's no original blend Duncan.
What?
There's no original blend Duncan. There's French Vanilla, Duncan Midnight, Colombian, Hazelnut, Cinnamania, but there is no original blend Duncan.
There is an office supply store in that same place where you are. They will have it.
You think so?
I do think so.
Alright, I will go to the office supply store. I'm like, should I just get a different brand of coffee? There's quite a few of them.
No.
No?
You can maybe, I mean, you can maybe get some French vanilla, but we need Dunkin'.
It's all Dunkin', it's just not original blend Dunkin'.
Always has been.
So can I just get the French vanilla and we'll survive?
Yeah, fine, whatever.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Apologize to chat.
Sorry, chat. There's nothing I can do.
Make sure you close the door on the car.
Hey, I closed the door in the garage, so, which is what you asked me to do.
Yeah, but it's freezing in here. Your fiance is freezing now.
No, he's not. You're lying to me.
I'm freezing. It's cold in here.
I don't believe you. You're lying. Alright, I gotta go check out now.
Bye.
Goodbye, love you.
Hey, one more thing.
What?
What? She probably found it funny. She's probably laughing in the grocery store. Up. Up. Maybe not. Yes.
You said one more thing and then you mysteriously hung up on me, so I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else that you needed.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I remembered what it is.
You didn't do it right.
Told you. I love you. See you later. Bye. See? Told you. Told you. Oh, boy. Oh, the alpha channel. Oh, it doesn't play nice with the other flags behind it. Oh, that's no good. Don't forget to bring a towel! Crap. Word. Oh, hell yeah. Flags on flags don't play nice. Alright, I got an idea. We could take these flags and make them panels, right? You still with me? We can take the flags. We can make them panels, right? That will add to the part count a little bit. But it should make that texture. Yeah, you guys remember what I just said about taking that and making it a panel and that should fix the problem? Yeah, I lied. Sorry. Do you think you'll get back into railroads in the future? The head of the project sold it to a new development company that seemed to have good intentions and have done some good updates since. I suppose. I suppose. Yes, I suppose. Yeah, maybe, man. Did I see your last? Are you covering the Tesla event at 8? Okay, so first of all, you asked when I was on the phone. I don't know what you expected. I'm not interrupting a conversation with Brimo for you. Second of all, Patriots game is at 8:15, dude. I kind of want to watch foosball. I want to watch my hand-egg game because sports ball. Yeah, you remember when I said, Alex, that I was going to kill you last? I lied. Do both. I don't want to do both.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Since you don't have a P.O. box, order these yourself. Dude, I'm working on a P.O. box. I will literally have one by the start of next week. You just gotta be patient with me. They make you fill out a bunch of forms, okay? And I have to... The P.O. box that I want is not near my house for obvious reasons, right? What does the rest of this message say? Pats suck, Bills suck even more. Go Pats. Thank you. They've added tons of optimization bug fixes and added tons of new locomotive. Hey, go Bills! No, no. Yeah, Wicked. I don't. All I'm hearing is excuses. Fine, I'll go get it done tomorrow then.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Bills Super Bowl. Bills winning a Super Bowl has never happened is the end of that sentence. X Factor, 2-month resub. Are they free to get? No, not around here, Alleviate. Wicked, I'm kind of worried tonight, dude. Should I be? I'm kind of worried, man. There's not a reality where the Pats win, right? What are these elements? Is this what you sent me the other day? The 250 HD logos. Oh, okay. I see what's going on in here. All right, if you insist. And Bill, you were right. Pilot dowel. If you insist, I will absolutely buy these right now. If the boot fits. Is it a set or thanks, Chief. I'm worried too, but I'm gonna cheer with all I got, yeah. It's a set, okay. Buy it now. Give me 1 second, dudes. I'm back. eBay wanted a security code, so... And I don't get reception in here, so I had to go hold my phone outside the door for a second. Don't worry, I shut the door. When is Artemis gonna make it to the green screen? Oh, yeah, we gotta do that.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Ekim, you rock. So glad to be subbed for 63 months. Hey, thanks, man. Wait, this is a green screen? Yeah.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
We're just listening to the music. I can change it. We'll put the synthwave on. It's because it's starting to confuse people. Give me 1 second. You know, you didn't have to buy them right now. I feel like I'm wasting everybody's time. Don't worry about it.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
It shipped to the apartment again, dude. I changed the address and deleted the old one, and I think it may have picked up the billing address on the PayPal, which is also changed. But yeah, no, I'm gonna have to go get those tags up in the city in a little bit, which kind of sucks. But are you allowed to listen to the old Railroads soundtrack, or has it been changed? No, we can listen to it, but I gotta get this module done. Oh, Dead Crew, no problem. Alright, so the trust segment thing doesn't... No, Confucius, seriously. I after the last time, I changed everything, and that's what I was checking. I was like, dude, am I having a stronk right now? I changed all this already. And, yeah, I guess eBay had other plans. You're back. You didn't get Final Destination then. Oh, that's good. Primo Element bought me new badges for the 97. The ones that say F250 on the fenders on the side. He bought me new ones. I'm kind of happy. Did you hit save when you changed it? Yeah, Creeper, that's what I was checking. I just went and looked at my eBay account and it says ship to here. But it must have been picking up on my PayPal or something. I don't know why. I don't know why, because I changed my billing addresses for the PayPal thing too. I don't know, it's very strange. Guess you're gonna have to get that PO box. Chow, you know what? Chow was just giving me crap about that. You're gonna give me crap about that too? Ugh. Whatever. It's fine. We'll put these flags on the back here. Mutter, help me get these new textures up in here. We got a texture that's basically just the truss structure. The reason why I'm doing the textures with flags is honestly for optimization purposes, guys. Because I would love to just run all the struts in here and make it look sweet, but Well, physics-less parts do help you with optimizations. They help you with optimizations, but they're still not gonna, you know, parts are parts at the end of the day. Physics-less parts are a good way to get around part count stuff, but it only works, like, to an extent. Building this thing out of, like, 130 struts would suck. Yeah, Kiki, it's gonna be fun. So, the truck, that doesn't look too bad, the way that is. And honestly, if we do that, if we do this, we can dump the center panels. We don't need those. It's for this hexagonal component here. We don't need them. So here's what we'll do. We just, the thing that's going to be weird is now how do we make rails for this thing? We still got to figure out how the mobile bus system works. Excuse me, sorry about that. Got to figure out how the mobile bus system works and kind of roll from there. I think we could fudge it and then put like an RCS ball behind this, or like 2 thermometers to clamp onto the back of the rails here. I think that'll work. Also, Sierra's brain work, do good, more like. Today's been a weird day, dude. I've had enough. It was a weird day today because my routine is so ridiculously thrown off because we sat there and went around the horn on the truck about what we needed to fix and stuff. So I'm like, it's gonna take me a second to remember what I have to do with KSP. You know what? I was gonna say alternate them. Oh, that looks horrible. No, never mind. Yes, absolutely alternate them. Did you hear fudge? No. What? Yeah, serious. Yeah, it is what it is, man. It's all good. Don't get your hopes up. Right. You know what we could do? It wouldn't look half bad. If we take the flags here and we make them huge, right? We make them humongous, right? And then we put them back in there. And now it looks like struts are being run back in there. I really, really would have liked to do this with the transparent backgrounds. But it seems like the alpha channel textures are rendered on one layer. So anytime you'd see another flag, they wouldn't work. I'd have to replace these with something else. And I don't want to replace them with panels because then it's going to be too many parts. It does look good though. Yeah, the lighter background though, it looks fine. That'll work. That gets the point across a little bit more. See, it's rendering the alpha channels on the same render layer, which is why they look like they're overlapping. See? Yeah. If we got rid of this, then it would look okay. You would only have a weird problem with the flag on the other side. But then when you look down, it would look terrible. What do you guys think? Oh, yeah. For testing, can you make the bottom flag textureless but solid white? Yeah, JSP, I just did that. It didn't pick up on it very well. I like it, but the part number is too huge. Why don't you use Mark II? It's with... Give me 1 second. I understand it looks more realistic to that design that you're going for. Guys, these are all physicsless parts. This is not going to give you as... It's not going to bug up the game as much as you can, but you can't just go ham with physicsless parts either. We can take the higher part count. It's not that big of a deal. Honestly, I think that gets the point across the best. I made an aircraft carrier with 90% flags and it was still laggy. Yeah, trust segments, the final frontier. You correctly say that the flag means less lag, but it doesn't equal no lag. Yeah, I know, 95. I know I'm correct because I literally just said that, and then you said that right after. I know. I know, bruh. Mark II, why do you want to use Mark II parts? Mark II parts look like butthole. Mark II parts look similar and no one will know the difference. Yeah, the football ones, exactly. Dude, I just don't think the Mark II parts are going to give us what we want. No, I don't want him. I don't want to do that. It's gonna look like Dookie. You don't want it to look like Dookie. There'll be Dookie everywhere. It'll be all over the walls. You don't want it. You don't want it to look like that. It'll be broken. The Dookie will be everywhere. I guess you have that DOS mentality of keeping it simple. I like what you done with the flags. Thank you, bro. It's me. I don't do that. Oh, I don't do the simple. Okay, that's not how I roll. Okay. And actually, you know what I think we're gonna end up doing? I'm gonna inset this. We'll move it back a little ways. Just actually, you don't want to do it all the way. Just to give it a little bit of parallax. That looks good. I like it. Do you have 0% magnets on all the docking ports? They're not optimized yet, CKAN, but thank you for reminding me. Can we get one panel to look like Dookie up textures? It's got Dookie on the walls. There's doo-doo butter everywhere. Let me find the Dookie flag. Ah, yes, here it is. Yeah, whooshing. It'll go up in the shuttle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep them the way they are. You know, flag texturing is really, using the flag textures is really growing on me. Alright, cool. So how many parts did that make this thing? It's 55 parts. Yeah, I have my flag packs available, dude. But yeah, I don't release I don't release the craft files for the shuttle anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I understand the gist of what you're saying. There's the, yeah, Aqua, that's the other reason why I'm not using Mark IIs, because I want the rails. I want the rails for the thing to move along. Yeah, I'll build the systems for that. Absolutely. I'm just thinking about how we can put the rest of this together. I think if we stack a couple of these things all next to each other, man, it's really gonna look good. See, on these modules out here, you know what I kind of want to do? I don't want to have it just alternating that texture. We'll add some variation to it. The station will be a beautiful slideshow presentation to witness. Yeah, 95, and then, you know, on your stream, you can have a beautiful buttery smooth Kerbal on your stream. Oh, wait. You don't have one. Buttery. I mean, yeah, no, I understand the gist of it, dude. But yeah, with this computer and everything that I have, it should be okay. Because I'm not encoding off of it. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be a little bit on the laggier side, but not every shuttle mission is going to go to the station. You know? I want to do this way. I want to do this old school. This is how 2014 EJ would have done this if 2014 EJ had this version of Kerbal. You know? That's how I want to do it. Because, dude, it's too much. It's too irresistible. This is stock. That's stock KSP. Stock KSP with a flag pack, which is unreal. I would have dreamt about making parts like this. Like, see, we can play with these textures and we can just vary it up a little bit. And now it looks freaking sick, dude. Would space doo-doo stick to the walls or would it just kind of float away? It would just float away. It would just float away. You'd need some kind of vacuum to get it to go in a certain direction, droid, because that's how the toilet works. Here, pee into this vacuum cleaner. Don't get me wrong. It's not like you're peeing into a shop vac or anything. It's a very, very light suction. Source. I've talked to people that have used it. Yeah, Bon, all these segments are designed to fit in the shuttle's payload bay, which is why they end up kind of looking like the Mark II, but yeah. Yeah, thermal curtain failure, Sleepy. Absolutely. Alright. I'm good with this. So for this section right here, the sections that I'll mark them. That one. We have to figure out how the dual keel is going to work. So we're going to need to... I'm just going to mark them here, and we can figure out how they're going to work in a moment. So this part is where the segments are going to be going up. They'll go up, and then they'll eventually go over, because that's what I'm trying to make. You know? Now, Shaw, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the provisions in to make a dual keel, but I don't know if we'll do it. It really depends. Actually, it's 95's giving me crap about it. It depends on the how bad this is actually going to be. But yeah, if we have to do an old school style Space Station Freedom, if we have to do an old school, like the revised baseline Space Station Freedom like that, then, you know, if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. Bad in what way? Part count. Yeah, part count. So, we'll end up doing what they did with this revised baseline version of Space Station Freedom. This revised baseline is exactly as the name implies. It is a baseline, meaning that the provisions for a dual keel are there. You could make the dual keel with Space Station Freedom. It's called this version of Space Station Freedom, the one that they actually started building, is called a revised baseline segment. So the revised baseline segment is, yeah, there you go. See, revised baseline configuration right there. See? And then the revised baseline configuration was called Alpha, and then it was called Freedom, and then they took the revised baseline configuration in 1988 and said, hold on a second here. And then they gutted NASA and they had to build the ISS instead. But the cool thing about it is that if you look at this picture of the ISS right here, the provisions for it are there. Look right here. And right there, look, there's vertical stuff like the Alpha Magnetic Spectrometer, AMS right there, that is tied to this hexagonal truss piece right here. See that? So the provisions for the keels are there. They're up on the ISS. It would have gone up and over here like this. See what I mean? It's definitely there, and it definitely could have been done. The provisions found their way onto the ISS because the ISS is a halved version of the halved version of Space Station Freedom. Yep. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like they revised it so you could just attach shuttle pallets to it, and that's what those are. Those are space shuttle pallets that they just bolted on. They can fasten to the side of the station. But yeah, I want to see. Like, I'm gonna start by building this, and depending on the part count of this. Depending on how nuts this actually gets, if I think that it's okay, like if we could bear the frames, then I'll start building the keels. But I'll build in the provisions for them now. So, what I didn't want to build mine out on the ends. I wanted mine to be basically right there and right there. That's kind of where they were originally supposed to be, and they do kind of still have them marked. Let me just look at that picture of the ISS one more time. The keels originally were supposed to be attached to the S1 and the P1 truss segment, so they're supposed to be right here. So looks like they revised that and ended up... so there's S0 is right there. There's S1. And then S3, S4, and S5. Yeah, and then there's P1, P3, P4, and P5. I don't know why there's no P2 or S3, P3 or S3 truss segment. Yeah, the ISS is Mir 2 and Space Station Freedom combined into one concept. That's correct. Oh, it is hexagonal. Interesting. Today I learned. The antenna dishes on Mir 2 were also nuts. It was a pretty cool, yeah, pretty cool thing. Yo, let's go. Look at that. Look at that. There's the shuttle just toting the S0 truss segment out like it's no big deal. That's actually after it handed off. This is from the shuttle's flight deck. That's crazy, dude. These are crazy missions to watch, chat. You know, a lot of you guys are younger. You didn't see this stuff. It's freaking nuts. I mean, that thing's the size of a Greyhound bus. No problem. Just put it right on the station. Easy peasy. Am I right? All right. So the backside of the hexagonal, the backside of the S0 truss segment is actually I can do some changes to it here. Get rid of that, and actually take these and move them inwards like this. We can do some stuff in here to optimize on some part count. We tried to keep the Russian space program after the Soviet Union collapsed so the scientists wouldn't move to other countries, right? Hence the ISS? Correct. Dumb question. But how did they hold the truss together after assembly? The truss bolts to the Destiny module. It attached to the Destiny module. So the Destiny module basically had mounts for it, and I'm going to do that. But what I'm going to do, right? Mustard. There's two sets of struts. There's two right there, and then there's two on the outside. And the Destiny module has something like this attached to the outside. So our Destiny module will have that as well. But what I'm going to do, Sile, is I'll have a central attachment point here because I have to use a docking port. I can't just hold it in place and have them strut it, right? Actually, yeah, a central docking port would be good. So we'll have a centralized docking port with a with some of my alignment pins, and then what I can do after that is have either make like a retractable system that attaches to the module. So like use some robotics and have it retract and have it put something down here like this, and then have a Kerbal EVA out there and strut the thing together. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll have the Kerbals come out and run some struts. But we'll do an initial dock. We have to do that because you can't strut two ships that aren't docked together, you know. But yeah, there they are. See what I'm talking about?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I'm wondering if those struts, the strutting mechanism was if that was attached to the module to begin with. That wouldn't have fit inside of the shuttle's payload base. I'm wondering if they're on a hinge or whatever. Hey, Kelly. Why is your name all lowercase? So physics parts don't affect FPS at all? No, they do, but not as much. Think of it as an optimization. Can't you? What if you're using an arm to hold them together on thermal bearings against the payload in the shuttle bay, then strut them? Once you undock it from the shuttle payload bay, the game will think it's a separate vehicle, and it'll just undo the struts. You can't bridge the hierarchy, Aqualex. You can't so I have the module over here at this end of the hierarchy, and the station over here at this end of the hierarchy, and the shuttle's in the center. if I dock those two together, if I undock here, or if I don't dock those two together, if I try to run struts right here and undock here, it'll become two separate vehicles again. You have to have a dock for the game logic to understand what's going on. What are the Van Allen belts and why are they significant? Earth has a magnetic field around it, alleviate magnetic north and south pole. If you use a compass, points north because of Earth's magnetic field. That's literally the reason why we don't fry in a microwave on the surface here. Earth's magnetic field shields us from all the radiation that we were talking about. Alpha, beta, gamma, X-ray, neurons. The Van Allen belts, or Earth's magnetic field, catches all of that. They get stuck in the magnetic field. Earth is basically inside of one gigantic magnetic containment facility. Yeah. And some light does get through, obviously. Visible light in UV gets through. That's why you get a tan when you go outside. Neutron radiation, not neuron. I misspoke. Sorry. So, yeah, the Van Allen belts are a lot of trapped radiation in there. You have to, if we're going to go to the moon, you kind of have to go around them because the magnetic field creates like a toroidal shape around Earth. Yeah, that's what they look like. There's radiation that gets trapped in Earth's magnetic field. That's also the reason why we don't fry like we're in a microwave on the surface. Yeah. There are these things called solar winds, which are charged particles. It's basically the exhaust cloud from the sun. So this is a mass ejection from the sun. That's what solar wind is. Because the sun is a big power plant. And just like every power plant, it has emissions. The sun basically emits electrons, ionized protons and neutrons. There's all kinds of fun stuff that's the byproduct of fusing hydrogen atoms. How far does the magnetic field go? It goes out there, dude. Yeah. So it blocks out most of the solar winds. The only thing it doesn't block out is visible light and UV. That's the only stuff that gets down to the surface here. Now, too much UV is bad for you. Yeah, will burn you. That's what a sunburn is. Yeah, I see people in chat mentioning boreal, the aurora borealis, and the aurora borealis and the aurora australis. So you know how like up in like Norway, north of the Arctic Circle, like Greenland and Iceland, and then up in the North Pole you have the northern lights, and then in the south you have the southern lights. What that is because the magnetic field is very weak there, because the magnetic field, like I said, it's a donut shape, right? Like that. What's happening up there is those charged particles from the sun, galactic cosmic waves, a bunch of things are hitting the gases in our atmosphere, because the atmosphere is not protected there from the magnetic field, and it's hitting that and causing reactions. It's the charged electrons are hitting the gases in our atmosphere, and yeah, they're the reaction is a bunch of light that you see up in the sky. That's what that is. Because there's no magnetic field up there. So yeah, that's what the Van Allen belts are. They're named after James Van Allen. James Van Allen was the guy who figured that out. He was a brilliant scientist at NASA. He figured out the radiation belts. Do you ever think the Big Bang didn't happen and nothing was... Do you ever think if the Big Bang didn't happen, nothing was nothing? I don't know. Maybe. I'd watch this. How about you? Maybe I should do a feature video with more coverage and talk about the revolutionary nature of this technology, like massively increasing the size of planetary rovers and bringing back all sorts of stuff from space. Yes, I will be replying, sir. It would be a privilege to have something like this. Magnetic north is not the same as true north. Yep. Can you cook marshmallows in space then? No, not really.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
So, all right. Let me just formulate my thoughts. So Halpinski, that's actually a good question. Yeah, you could cook a marshmallow in space. That's by just holding it out the window, so to speak. I mean, don't put your arm out there. That's bad. The reason why that's bad is because space is a vacuum. All right. So everybody's like, oh, space is a vacuum. Everybody says that. What does that mean? There's nothing up there. There's nothing there. There's nothing. It is the absence of matter. There's nothing there. All that's floating around up in space is, there's micrometeorites. Actually, space is pretty dirty. There's all kinds of crap floating around up there. Junk satellites, chunks of ice, chunks of oxygen from spacecraft outgassing. There's all kinds of stuff. There's helium gas. There's all kinds of crap. It's not a very clean place, but in between all that stuff that I'm talking about is the vacuum. There's nothing there. It is 0 Kelvin. Absolute zero. Nothing. So, if you think about how we cook a marshmallow here, what do you do when you cook a marshmallow over a campfire, right? You're introducing heat. Technically, you're introducing heat into the air. Because you don't hold the marshmallow in the dang fire. You're killing me, Smalls. Right? That's weird. People that do that, you just burn the marshmallow, right? So, the fire is heating the air. It's heating the air molecules around, and those hot air molecules find the marshmallow, and that's what cooks it, right? You don't have there's no thermal medium there. So if you put a marshmallow outside a spacecraft, one side would cook and the other side would not. Because there's no way for the air to kind of pass through and cook the whole thing. You'd have to kind of put it on a rotisserie almost. But the other thing is that it's in a vacuum. So it's not it's hard to, like, you're not going to get the heat to it very well because the only heat is going to be from those charged electrons that the magnetic field catches. So you're going to irradiate it more than anything, So like it'd be freezing on one side and it would like be irradiated and kind of cooked. It would probably just pop on one side because it's like, it would be like I'm putting it in a microwave. But like, here's the thing, getting the marshmallow outside would make it instantly freeze. Because when you have a pressure drop, temperature goes down. And if you go into an airlock, right, with a marshmallow, the pressure's gonna drop and it would get really, really cold. And once you're to vacuum, it's nothing. So it would just kind of stay frozen. That's why stuff in space freezes. But the reality of the situation is that space is really hot. Yeah, it's really hot up there. But because there's nothing there, you're at absolute zero. Yeah, it kind of like nothing happens, right? It'd freeze it, and then maybe if the sun got it a little bit, it would warm it up a little bit, but you'd kind of get like a lukewarm marshmallow. You wouldn't be able to cook it through and through like if you had it on a campfire, you know what I mean? Wouldn't the marshmallow explode due to lack of pressure and the air molecules escaping? Yeah, Dead Crew, I kind of was basing this whole thing off of like if you could get it out the airlock. No, freezing it would kind of keep it together. Yeah, no problem. There's no matter for you to absorb your heat though. Yeah, but there's still sunlight up there. The electrons will carry the heat, and those will get transferred to the marshmallow. So it wouldn't like heat it up like a campfire. It would kind of, like one side would be frozen solid, like rock solid, and the other side would be puffing out like a peep in a microwave. But it wouldn't happen very fast because there's not a lot of electrons. Like, you got to think about this, like the scale that you think about this stuff. So think about that campfire, right? You have the marshmallow over the campfire. The deflagration that's happening from burning wood is heating up the air. That's what it's doing. It's the fire doesn't cook the marshmallow. It's heating up the air. This is what an oven does, for instance. You ever make tater tots in the oven? It's called a convection oven, right? What does the oven do? The oven just heats up and moves the air, convects the air. And that hot air passing over your food is what cooks it, right? Think about how many air molecules, molecules are tiny. Think about how many air molecules you're heating up and how many heated up air molecules are running into that marshmallow, right? There's a lot because there's a lot of air molecules because the atmosphere is super dense down here. Up there, there's none of that. There's nothing to carry the heat except the charged electrons that are from the solar winds of the sun. And even that, like if you were at the ISS, you wouldn't get that a lot because the magnetic field would absorb most of it. So that's what I mean when I say it would slow cook it. It would take a while to cook that marshmallow, but you could, but I wouldn't eat that. Fresh tots! It depends on the type of radiation, Hokie. But yeah, photons, excuse me. I've been trying to do deep dives on radiation and get it better, clear in my head because of deep space spacecraft, you know. So how do the radiators work up there? Radiation? Kind of allied. They're photons. They're photons, but you could also get charged electrons up there. You could get a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of the only stuff that's floating around in space is just radiation. That's all that's up there. So, Goalie, how do the radiators work on the ISS? Well, it's actually pretty dang smart. How does the radiator work on your car? How does the radiator work on your car? What does your car do? So your car heats up coolant, and then it goes through an air-to-air, or a water-to-air heat exchanger called the radiator. It exchanges the heat with the air, right? And then the cool fluid gets put back into the engine, right? And the water pump circulates the whole thing. Space systems work pretty much like that, but here's the problem: you can't have an air to liquid cooler. Doesn't work. That won't work. You can't have an air to water heat exchanger because, once again, no air. So what do? They basically pump it through. They pump it through like a bunch of cooling vanes in a coolant circulation system that looks almost like the what's the cooler that you can wear on your vest, like, and it has like the coolant circulating through it? What's that called? I forget what that's called. No, car radiator works off convection. Yeah, thanks for letting me finish before you decided to correct me. I really appreciate it, dick. I forget what the name of that thing is called. The neoprene vest that you can wear. It works like that. Basically what they're doing is they pump the coolant through channels in the radiators, and those channels are exposed to vacuum, right? They're exposed to the vacuum. So when you take that coolant and you run it through that channel and you have vacuum on the outside of it, right? This stuff, the coolant is carrying heat, and that heat will be the pipe that will absorb it, and because the pipe is near vacuum, right? That heat's just going to disperse. Because cold is just the absence of heat, right? It's just the absence of energy, right? So it'll basically just disperse the heat through the coolant pipes, I mean, yeah, it's a little more complicated than that, but that's the idea. Basically, you have a water to vacuum or a coolant to vacuum radiator. Like that's the right way to say it. Is it kind of like how boats used to cool themselves with keel cooling, just instead of the ocean, the pipes? Yeah, the pipes are basically exposed to vacuum. And now vacuum is a great thermal insulator, but if you move hot stuff through a vacuum like that, it'll want to radiate away from the pipe. Gracias, Ivan. Gracias. Feliz Navidad. Navidad. La camisa de Navidad. It's December, man. I have to. Like, that explanation was a little bit on the weaker side, guys. I do apologize. But long story short, they expose coolant channels to the vacuum, and that keeps it cool. But you got to remember, it's not the vacuum that's keeping it cool. It's the heat escaping from the pipe. Because vacuum is not cold, okay? Absolute zero is not cold nor hot. It's nothing. It's nothing. Vacuum is the zero. Absolute zero is the absence of heat. There's no heat. There's nothing. There's nothing there. So when you try to introduce something that's heated into the vacuum, right, through the pipes, that heat will spread out. It'll radiate off the pipe. Because it's trying to fill a void it's trying to fill the vacuum, and you're never going to fill the vacuum. So that it radiates the heat away. I thought it was rocket related. Nakatomi Plaza. You don't have a medium for convection because you're in the vacuum. Which is the black body effect where you're radiating light, you're effectively giving off infrared light. Yeah, basically. Mm-hmm. Like you say, how do the radiators work on the ISS? Heat radiation is the right way to say that, but that doesn't really kind of visualize it very well. I guess the technical term is conduction. Yeah, but it's like lack of conduction, right? Like, what's the opposite of conduction? You know what I mean? But yeah, that's little things on how space works. How are things tonight? Good. Induction. Yeah, Bam, maybe that. I gotta come up with a better analogy for that. But yeah. So would vacuum be the best cooling system? No. Vacuum is not a cooling system. Vacuum is nothing. So, Goalie, here's the thing. Introducing the coolant to the vacuum, introducing a liquid into a radiator, right? Basically a heat pipe, right? To get the heat to disperse is a great way to use the vacuum to help you cool things. The reality of the situation is that spacecraft that are up in space, they don't have to worry, it's not going to freeze. Spacecraft actually heat up because they're sitting in the sun all day. And the sunlight will actually heat them up, and there's no way to get that heat to go away. Spacecraft can't sweat, and even if they could, there's no way to get that heat off the craft. That's why crafts need radiators. Kerbal does not do this. Like, I'm not going to say they don't do it right, but Kerbal doesn't teach this very well. Every spacecraft needs radiators if you're going to be up there for a long period of time. No exceptions, or else your spacecraft will literally melt from the inside out. So, Goalie, the thing about vacuum is that you could use it with like radiators, you can use it to cool down coolant. But what the vacuum is best at doing is like preventing phase change. It's preventing temperature increases or temperature drops. Like a vacuum's vacuum insulated container holds, you can hold like hot chocolate in here or coffee or whatever, or tea or whatever you want in here for a really long period of time, because there's a vacuum between the inner and outer tube here. So there's no place for the heat or there's no place for the heat to go. It just stays there. So the temperature doesn't go down. The only contact point is up at the top here where the two things meet, right? But you can see there's a layer here, the orange layer. There's vacuum in there. There's nothing in there. It's just vacuum. That's why Yetis are so good. Because you can use the vacuum as a thermal insulator, but you can also use it to keep heat in, or you could use it to keep heat out. You could really do whatever. On spacecraft, they have trouble keeping them cool. That's why they need radiators. And the funny thing is the very same thing that's keeping them hot, right? Very same thing that keeps the spacecraft hot up there, the sunlight, you know, and the vacuum prevents it from shedding off heat. You can use coolant, and you can actually cool the coolant using the vacuum as well. It's very interesting stuff. And that's why I make it such a thing to say space isn't cold, it isn't hot, it's nothing. It's neither. It's the absence of everything. There's nothing up there. Calling BS. If it was a vacuum, it would implode. What do you mean you're calling BS? What are you talking about? I understand what you're saying, though. You've never heard of a vacuum insulated thermos? There's a reason why it's made out of solid metal. Yes, Nova. Chris, it's interesting to me that you would call BS on that. Why is that so hard to believe that this is vacuum? We're only talking about a 15 psi difference here. It's 15 psi right here. So 101 kilopascals. That's not a lot of pressure. That's this. Haven't you ever sucked the air out of a bottle? Same thing, creating a vacuum. I think you need to revisit how, like, material properties, because this is not plastic. This is solid steel. Will the universe eventually collapse in on itself? No idea, Pimp. That's way beyond my expertise level. I feel like you would be alright at Stationeers. Stationeers is a very good way to teach yourself all this stuff. I have played Stationeers. I know the Rocket Works guys. They hang around in the stream from time to time because they're all a bunch of space nuts. Take my bits. Thanks, Braga. Big C, 22-month resub. So just outside the coolant pipes, does the vacuum become not a vacuum because of the heat being released? There's not... The heat that's being released that way, Solace, is not... It's not going to... It's not gonna... Yeah, but it's not... We're talking about, like, molecular scale here. It's not a lot. But yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, the Rocket Works guys, Grab Shark. They're good people. So you could not make a vacuum-cooled engine. I mean, Goalie, the interesting thing is that vacuum-cooled engines already use vacuum to cool themselves, dude. Yeah. It's true. Yeah, Plek, yeah, it's probably... Even if the inside of here was at like 5 psi, that would still be a great insulator. It's a good thing for learning pressures, atmospheres, and the way we manipulate control environments in space. Yeah, absolutely. The heat is radiated as infrared, like how a heat lamp works. Bingo. Yeah. I'm going to try to make some modifications here to see if we can lower the part count of this thing. So, guys, I was noticing that the back of the S0 truss segment is actually semi-hexagonal here. If you look, it's kind of got, there's kind of a diagonal thing going on. Let me see if I can find a better picture. Yeah, see the top back there? Don't you have a 3D model of the ISS? I do. Yeah, we could probably go take a peek at that, but I forgot that I had it. I forgot that I had it, man, to be honest with you. Yeah, dude. You know what? This probably would have made everything a lot easier. Yeah, this is gonna take a second. This is like a 20 million try model of the ISS. You can get this off of NASA's website. I got it off of their website and then I ripped it and put it in, not ripped it, I put it in Maya. And Maya doesn't really fully understand what's going on here, but I was able to get it to work, but yeah, here we go. Yeah, see? I want to do something like that. Dude, I don't know why I didn't remember that we had this, because yeah, this would be very useful. Yeah, see, there's the struts that hold everything together. We gotta figure out a way to do something like that. Yeah, exactly, Urban. It's how many tries is this thing? 2.2 million tries. Yep. Okay. Yeah, 2.2 million tries. No big deal. Learned something today. I have to apologize for calling BS. You're right. Yeah, I know. It's all good, man. It's all good. You know what, Chris? I want people to do that, to be 100% honest with you. It gives me an excuse to nerd out about things, dude. So, all good, man. Thank you. I appreciate the apology, but you don't need to apologize. It's all good, dude. Physics. Dude, physics is weird, man. Once you start getting to, like, absolute zero, stuff starts doing things that are a little strange. Like, you know, you see the spacecraft when we watch like Falcon 9, you see it outgassing, and the gas that it's outgassing immediately solidifies and turns to solid oxygen. Like, you'd think that space is cold. It's not cold. The reason why oxygen solidifies, it freezes basically, is because of the pressure drop. It immediately goes from it changes phase from, you know, gas to liquid to solid instantly, and then it hits absolute zero and just kind of stays like that. It's weird, man. You wouldn't think, but yeah. But all good, man. Don't worry about it. Yeah, like I said, it just gives me an excuse to go into more detail. But don't get me wrong, guys. Like, my pressure, temperature, and like radiator analogies are not they're not my best. I can do better than that. But yeah, hopefully it was good enough to get the point across. this shit. Another message. What's up? Did you see 2 Navy ships almost collided in San Diego? Dude, this is one of those. I'm gonna get interrupted all the time. Not by you guys. Not by you guys. Every time this has been this whole week. Every time I go to, like, say, oh, I'm gonna work on this now. There's like 1,000 things trying to get my attention. Emails, you know, like emails, messages. Like, there's some background stuff that I'm trying to work on. While working on the truck, while working on this stuff right now. So yeah, sorry if I'm a bit distant on this stuff. That model shows that I was wrong about how the S0 attaches to the ISS. I thought it was strutted to the Z1, but it looks like it's strutted directly to Destiny. Yeah, Jason, I don't know, man. It looks like it was at one point because there's a passive CBM right there. So I think there was a time where it was, but I think that was like when the solar panels were up here like this. But I don't know, dude. I wonder what the LCAS is. Like the P.O. box. Indeed. Want to read your last? Yep. Okay. And that's good to know. Cool. It's weird how difficult it is to imagine nothing. Yeah, it's not totally nothing, but yeah, you got to think about it as nothing. But there's no like perfect vacuum that exists either, to my knowledge. But then again, I really got to find a better way to explain this stuff, dude. Thanks, Chief. Let's get back to working on the station, man. Grab the Z1. The S0 is not attached to Z1. It's not. This model's ripped directly from NASA. It's definitely not. I gotta figure out how the heck I'm gonna make this though. I got a good grasp on it, Hokey, but yeah, not the best. Still have a lot to learn. I don't know, Grav. Now I'm just getting confused. I'm just gonna go with what I see on the model, dude, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much. You know what I'm saying? It's a class I had to take twice when going from
Discovery,
mechanical.
go at throttle up.
Hey, Gil, what's going on? When do we expect the first module to launch? I wanted to get the station done by the end of the week, Hypersonic, but it might be another one, man. I got, dude. Dude, it's just been this week. This week, and I'm not totally not at fault for this. Like, there's just been 1,000 things going on with all the Artemis coverage and the Neuralink, and then, you know, like, the football game. I want to watch Handig in a little bit. Just, yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on, dude. And also, I'm trying to do a lot of stuff in the background, guys. What I always try to do, just on a quick side note, what I always try to do, and I've been trying to do this, I don't know, I was gonna say pretty much post-pandemic, but I started doing it during the pandemic. I always have a back-end project going on that I don't tell people about. I'm always trying to do something for the stream outside of the stream. Does that make sense? Like, even if it's making connections, writing emails, doing stuff like that, you know? And I got, let's just say, like, right now, I have several irons in the fire, and it's it's just a lot to keep track of. It's a lot to keep track of. Like, I need to learn how to manage doing all this better. But that's a personal growth thing. You guys don't want to hear about that crap. I smell a VFT. It's better than a VFT. Oh yeah, it's way better than a VFT. VFTs are bush league compared to the coals I got in the fire right now, dude. Or the irons I have in the fire. Virtual field trip party. Here's why there's that docking thing on the Z1. Let me see, Creeper. So Hypersonic, basically, when I start getting some good modules ready to... Hang on, Creeper. This is a really good video. Jared Owen Animations. Virtual fungible tokens? Yeah, sorry now. So Node 1 should have PMA 1 and PMA 2 here. They flew it up with PMA 1 and 2. There's PMA 1. PMA 1 is still up there, and so is PMA 2 for what it is. That's the PMA 2, believe it or not, this little banana shaped thing is what Dragon docks to. Yep. And then Zvezda, the propulsion system. That's the service module for the ISS right there. That was launched in 2000. And then the Z1 truss is the SAS. That's the gyros. That's the gyro module. The gyros are underneath those blankets right there. There's 4 of them. And they're big. They're gigantic gyroscopes. There's PMA 3. Wait a minute. Why is the PMA slanted like that? Shuttle. Wait, PMA 3 went up? Yep, and then, yeah, see, they put the P6 truss segment up there, like, first, so they could get thermal and power for the modules. That's when Zarya and Zvezda retracted their solar panels. Watch how complicated this gets when they put Destiny on here. Yeah, see? Yep. Think about how the shuttle... How the heck would the shuttle do that? This is this kind. Once we get all the modules figured out, this is what we're gonna have to figure out. We're gonna have to figure out how do we play the switcheroo with the arm and stuff. You keep saying Russian space project names. Da. Zarya Zvezda. Are you gonna make a PMA? I'll have a different shuttle docking mechanism. The reason, one of the guys, okay, so here's the thing. All right, little word on the pressurized mating adapter. So why is it slanted? It's slanted so when they dock with the shuttle, it's easier to see what you're doing. The shuttle didn't have an automatic docking system, so you literally have to look out the windows and dock the thing, okay? Second part of this is that the pressurized mating adapter mates the common berthing mechanism, which is how all the US and the international things are docked together. CBMs are what we were trying to make with our station modules. They're these modules right here. The pressurized mating adapter adapts CBM to APAS 95. Or it would have been APAS 75 or something. Androgynous Peripheral Attachment System. That's a Russian docking port. Why? Why adapt to APAS? So we could adapt to the Russian modules. So we could make the ISS. All right? Now, so does that mean that the shuttle uses a Russian docking port? Yes, that's exactly what it means. The space shuttle flew its entire career with a Russian docking port aboard. Now, why? Why did they do that? Because the first station that the shuttle docked to was a Russian one. So go with what you know, right? If you're gonna make the shuttle go to the Mir space station, right? You're gonna have to change it to Mir's docking adapters. So they installed a docking adapter that adapted SSVP to APAS, which is basically APAS is what the Russians use to dock their station modules together. SSVP is Soyuz's docking port. Can you link this picture? Sure. Docked further back in the cargo bay. Mass distribution, hypersonic. Yeah. That and it's carrying a lab module there, so yeah, they had to balance the mass in the payload bay a little bit better, shift everything back. So the shuttle flew with APAS. Go with what you know. So when they went around to do the ISS, right? When they went to go and build the International Space Station, they said CBM to APAS because the Russians use APAS to dock their station modules together. We can dock APAS to our station modules, and then we don't have to change the shuttle's docking port. That's why they made the PMAs in the first place. They docked right behind the cockpit, right? I'll show you one of my all-time favorite pictures from the shuttle program. Look at that. Look at that picture of Discovery, man. How's that for pretty cool? So, the reason why it's tilted like that is so you could see. Note the targeting reticle right there. See? There's windows right here on the top of the shuttle. In fact, if you look at the Mark III cockpit in Kerbal, those windows are modeled. Because where you go to dock the shuttle is here. They don't dock from these seats right here. The docking system is actually on the center console at the aft end of the flight deck next to the RMS controls. So you can look out the windows, and then the shuttle's docking port is right here. So you can literally look out the windows and see what you're going towards. The shuttle can be controlled. It can be flown from this, with the RCS at least, from back here. So it's offset so they could see what they're doing. So they could look down to watch the docking ports attach and look forward to see the targeting system. Yep. Pretty crazy, huh? Also, radiators on the inside of the shuttle's payload bay doors. See? See the coolant loops? Yeah, there you go, Dink. I learned about that when making the Lego set. Nice. What are those loose wires on the left? It's a wire harness to something, dude. The wires... So, like, if you need to rewire two modules together, Cryotube, they literally just send astronauts out there and they grab these handles here and they tether themselves to these handles and just rewire stuff. Yeah. A lot of this stuff over here is power systems. See these plugs right there? The APAS port has a plug on it. A lot of docking ports do this. They have plugs. So when the drive hooks engage and they pull the docking port in and they dock to each other, you plug yourself into the space station. You plug it, you can tap into the station's power systems. That's what that stuff is. That's what all this garbage is right here. It's so they could so they could shut the shuttle's fuel cells off. Well, not shut them off. They could power them down. You know what I mean? You don't really want to shut them off. And the shuttle could tap into the ISS's solar panels for power. Makes it so it could stay up there for longer periods of time. Yeah, basically, some docking ports can just plug in. You just have a plug that's like taped to the outside of the docking port. And when the docking port attaches, the plug plugs in. Oh yeah, nice video. I mean, how did Canada win the ability to make the arm? In a very similar manner, alleviate to how the Europeans made the service module for Orion, the Canadians built the arm. We worked with them to make it a multinational effort. And in return, the Canadians built the arm, and in return, we gave them seats on the space shuttle. The Canadian Space Agency and NASA are like this, son. We're like this. Did any of the Russians fly on the shuttle before the fall of the USSR? No. It looks good, 95. It is Helvetica, Clotrick. Yep. It's Helvetica. NASA's font for the shuttles, per their graphics manuals, it's all Helvetica. Always has been. It's one of my favorite fonts because of it. Yeah. There it goes. Yeah, see the plugs? Oh, look at that. Fun fact, I learned the first Ukrainian astronaut flew on the shuttle. That's cool. Dude, I'm telling you, seeing this thing come in and dock is some of the dude. Like Dragon docking is cool, Starliner docking is cool, Cygnus berthing is cool. It's not that. That is one of the gnarliest things I've ever seen in space. Like, if you go and you see a shuttle, there's your plugs right there. You go and you see a shuttle, and you see how big it is, it kind of makes sense. You're like, holy crap. Like, look at this picture. Are you freaking kidding me? I wish we had the high def cams, hypersonic, yeah. How did the Hubble get power when the shuttle serviced it? It plugged it in. Closest we've gotten to 2001: A Space Odyssey right there. Night Sun Temple. Creeper, you want to finish the ISS video? You think it would be cool? Bravo 6 going dark. Did you make it, Alex? Did you finish it? Why does it do this when you time warp? Are the hydraulics locked, 95? They are. Huh. Next flight on the 3rd for JPL. They did helicopter on Mars. I flippin' did, so now bedtime awaits. Good job, man. Good freaking job. Have you watched the Opportunity documentary yet? It's worth a watch. No, I haven't. I don't feel like crying over a piece of metal on another planet. Does that make sense, Canuck? Elon did do surgery on a grape. That was rude. No, I don't. I'm serious. I don't feel like crying over a freaking rover. This is just a piece. I know. That's what I'm trying to say. Why do I have feelings over a piece of metal on another planet? It's just a piece of metal, but it's not a piece of metal. It's more. I get it. Ugh. No, stop it. Stop pulling on my heartstrings. You jerks. Opportunity was switched off. Not on purpose. It got caught in a dust storm, Nikita, and the solar panels, they couldn't dust it off. Static electricity holds Martian regolith to the solar panels. Yeah, you can't just put a fan on it and dust it off. You can't have a windshield wiper. That won't do anything. It'll just move it around. Cassini's grand finale was the worst. Agreed. That looks good. I mean, yeah. It looks like the, I mean, to be fair, well, not to be fair, to be honest, Spirit and Opportunity were freaking Energizer Bunny. They lasted way beyond, they lasted way beyond what they thought they were going to. But an air compressor would work, and that's what I don't understand. Maybe it wasn't in the mass. Maybe it wasn't in the budget. Didn't they say the dust storm cleaned the panels off? I don't know. Yeah, they were meant for 90... Wasn't it 90 sols or something, Loopy? Yeah, they lasted... Both of them lasted over a decade. Opportunity almost... almost a decade and a half, if I'm remembering right. I'd say, Say you did good. You did good, pig. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Loopy, check this out. I got a mutter, got me a strut. Got a strut texture flag. So now we don't need to run all the struts together. You remember in the Insight Lander? That thing is literally almost dead. It's covered deep in dust and power is running super low. Yep. Yep. Sucks, huh? Why use an air compressor when the two new rovers they sent after are nuclear powered? Because we're talking about the ones that aren't, TJ. But yeah, you're right. At some point, can we finish watching the animation? Yeah, we can do that. That's the Quest airlock. That's Piers. That's an SSVP right there for Soyuz. Yep. Yep, that's what we're trying to make. There's S0. MBS. That's the locomotive, that's the train tracks. And you can attach the arm to the train tracks. There's the S1 truss segment, P1 truss segment. Yep, radiators. P3, P4. There's the adapter to get the second solar. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Huh. Harmony, yep. Then they put PMA2 on the front of Harmony, and that's literally how it's been since 2007. Columbus, that's the Europeans module, and then Kerbal would be coming after that. That's Dexter. That's like extra fingers for the Canadarm. Yeah, the Russians retracted their solar panel module. There's Kerbal and the experiment module, and then the external platform for Kerbal. S6 truss segment. Yeah, I'm dreading trying to figure out a way to make those things. There's the exposed facility. Yeah. And they have a little mini robotic arm on the end there. There's Boysk. Yep, these are, the express logistics carrier. That's just a shuttle pallet. Yep, and then there's node 3, Tranquility, the cupola. Yeah, did you see the pallet, Urban? It's a little bit different than the Intelsat pallets that you've seen, but same idea. Rasvet, the Russian docking module. And then there's the pressurized permanent multi-purpose module, PMM, which is an MPLM from the shuttle. Express Logistics Carrier, Alpha Magnetic Spectrometer, AMSO2 on STS-134, and then 135. Yeah, that was it. That's all the shuttle missions. And then they attach beam by pulling it out of the trunk of a Dragon. That's the expandable activity module. Biggest payload by size, Ivan, was Kibo. Kibo was freaking huge. Big module. Yeah, Jared Owen. Very good stuff. Here, I'll link this up so you guys can see it. Was that on a shuttle? Beam? No. No. Beam was not on a shuttle. Shuttle stopped flying in July of 2011. Kibo was the shuttle. Yeah. That was the biggest payload by size, not by mass, but that was the biggest payload by size that the shuttle had ever moved. Kibo's huge. Oh, really, Reagan? I'm gonna have to check that. There's the Rasvet. Rasvet was brought up by the shuttle. It's actually the second mirror docking module. Remember that adapter that I told you guys about adapting APAS to SSVP? So Russian station docking port, Soyuz docking port. Yeah, the mirror docking module. Rasvet was the second one. They built two of them. They used one on Shuttle Mir, and then the second one was Rasvet. It was actually brought up by a space shuttle. See the pegs? Yeah, Evil Rays. The shuttle assembly missions were nuts. They were crazy. Was the cupola just built by Italians or deployed by Italians? The cupola was launched on STS-130 with Node 3. Tranquility. Flykin. All of these modules, these cylindric modules here, were manufactured by Thales Alenia in Turin. They made the outer shell and then they shipped them to Kennedy Space Center and they built them there. They were built in the operations and checkout building. In fact, I've seen some of them. I remember going to KSC in 2005 and I saw space station modules there. I forget what modules I saw. If I had to guess, it was probably Node 3, judging by the launch date. Because if I saw modules that were in ONC in 2006, right? I'm guessing they probably would have 2005, they probably would have gone up 2006, 2007. So it was probably Node 3 and the cupola. Think about how nutty of a mission doing this actually is. Not this one. Think about how nutty of a mission it is to do what they're about to do here. That. How do you do that? You have to use the space station remote manipulator system to grab the solar panel off the top and then slide that thing all the way out here and then have the RMS reattach it. That's crazy. That's a crazy difficult mission. Carefully. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. That's the kind of stuff we're going to have to do, guys. We'll be doing stuff like this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ironwood Creeper said.
Discovery, go and
Oregon. That's a 36-monther. Appreciate it, man. Alright. So. What is this going to need? This module is going to need monoprop. Actually, we'll get the probe core in here first before anything. Because my center truss segment is going to need to be the first thing that I launch because I don't have any Russian modules, right? We don't have Russian modules. I'm building mine like Space Station Freedom. So I'm going to bring up what they were going to do with Space Station Freedom is start building the truss segment first and then build the module and then attach the modules. They were going to build the trusses first to get power and thermal, and they were basically going to attach propulsion modules. They were going to attach propulsion modules to the integrated truss segment. Actually, like these are attached here. Are you building the space station in the same order it was built in real life? No, Evil Rays. Mine's gonna kind of be like the ISS. We're gonna have to do certain operations like that, but mine's like my station is like half my own design, half Space Station Freedom, and half ISS. All ridiculous. Yeah, I know that was 3 halves. I get it. No, yeah, it's gonna have to be this way. It's 150% because we go hard, man. Half man, half bear, half pig. Man, bear, pig. It's gonna be the man, bear, pig of space stations. Man, bear, pig is real. I'm super serial right now. Man, bear, pig. Man, bear, pig. Still funny. It's still funny. Sorry, I don't care what anybody says. It's still funny. So yeah, it's kind of... I'm trying not to copy the ISS completely, and I'm trying not to copy Space Station Freedom completely. One, because you can't. It's, You really can't. It's tough to do stuff like that because some things that you can do in real life you just can't do in Kerbal. So I'm kind of taking the ideas, combining them with my own, and then kind of putting my own spin on it and then adapting them for KSP. I know that you could have most certainly easily have had this completed a while ago. Okay. Thanks. All right, thanks, Vigo. I guess I appreciate your candor. I'm just gonna keep working, fellas. Thanks for the adequate stream. Yeah, no problem. Do you pay Sirius to be a dick? No, he pays me. See that thing next to his name? I mean, guys, Motorman, if when push comes to shove, dude, if you guys want me to just put my head down and grind this out, I will. Just like what we did with the shuttle. I've been trying to do that, but yeah. How many parts are on the center truss at this point? Does it have its probe core to be set as a base? No, not yet, Loopy. Personally, I'd lean towards getting it done. Yeah. It's 57 parts, Loopy. It's not necessarily about perfection, Pop. It's about getting it to do what I want it to do. Engineering and the process takes time, and if I'm explaining it, it takes even more time. Like, I'm sorry I'm not better at doing that. Like, a thing to understand at the end of the day is that I have to sit here and explain stuff. If I'm just sitting here playing the game, you know, like, I gotta make money, I gotta put food on the table, and explaining it is my meal ticket. So, like, I don't understand why people don't get that, but it is what it is. Like, I have to give explanations. I have to do that. It's my meal ticket. Because if I just sit here and belt this out, no one's gonna understand what the frick I'm doing.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
You do you. Thanks. Possible alternative mounting for the docking ports. Mark 0 tanks that run all the way up to the girders. Mark Zeros? Here, let me. As I'm just gonna be quiet and just finish this, okay? Yeah, Motorman, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I know. It's just like, dude, I know this is taking longer than really what anyone wants. I understand that. I didn't think I would get this hung up on space station modules, to be honest with you. And I'm kind of bumming, you know. So like, you know, it's tough. Like, you know, people come in and say, "Oh, you could have made this faster. Or you could have done this better." Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Maggie, 71 months. Thanks, man. Dude, calm your shenanigans. This is good content. Yeah, Dot, I got you. It's just... like, I'm not so much letting what people in chat say bother me. It's just, I don't know, man. I was talking about this a little bit earlier. Every freaking time I've gone to belt this module out this week, I always end up doing something else. It's so annoying. Like, not trying to sound like a dick, but man, it's really pissing me off. So you see people come in here, they're like, "You could have done this faster." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what, man? You're right. You're an asshole, but you're right." Like, it's so true. Oh, I hate that you're right. You know, like, I'll take my time out. "71 months and this still isn't done." You dick. No, thanks, Vyman. I appreciate the kind words, guys. I'm just, yeah, it's just personal demons, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh. I know I could get it done faster, you jerks! I'm trying! You're just being ultra realistic. Everything gets delayed. Yeah, you're not wrong. How long did the ISS take to get to do its current configuration? Construction started in 1998 and was finished in 2011. Try the third kind of I-beam where that panel is. It might have the reach.
Go at throttle up.
Oh yeah. Hey, Golden Goose. That truss is starting to look nice. Thanks. See, Loopy, you know what? I'm just going to leave that empty because I might end up putting thrusters or prop tanks or something there, you know? Okay. So, probe core, where do we want to put it? Let's just mount that. We can mount it on a physics-less part, and then the core node. An Octo 2 should do me right. I mean, but then again, it is the core node for the station, so prograde, retrograde, normal, anti-normal, maneuver, target tracking. We're not necessarily going to need target tracking. Why does your trust need a probe core? Because this is the first droid. This is the first module that I'm going to send up. That's a thing that I'm taking out of Space Station Freedom's handbook. Space Station Freedom was going to have the trust segment built first, and then modules built around the trust segment. It'd be cool if you built some of it with EVAs on orbit. I'm actually planning on doing that, S. Yeah. Nice shirt. Thank you. Thank you, Floating. It doesn't, you know what? These little babby thrusters. Those should do us right. And then when the rest of the station gets built, we can just shut them off. This thing doesn't need to... It doesn't need to be nuts. If we just switch that to a 5-axis thruster, like that. That will work. And then Octo 2... The Octo 2 will work as well. That'll be just fine. We're just going to gizmo it right there. I always try to put stuff in a place where I can kind of click on it. You know what? We might even get away with putting it right behind the docking port right there. Even though it's not technically right behind the docking port, it's attached to that cubic occ tag. Are the gyros in the truss segment or on a different segment? The gyros are on the Z1 truss segment. It's Zenith 1. It's this thing. They're actually behind that flap right there. See? There they are. I could show you on the ISS diagram. See? 4 redundant gyros. I'll do that. We'll make a Zenith truss segment because Space Station Freedom was supposed to have that too. How heavy are those gyros? I don't know, but they're pretty big, man. They're pretty hardcore. I mean, look. I don't know, dude. Those gyros gotta have a diameter of at least 2 meters. It's gotta be. It's gotta be at least 2 meters. They're big, man. They're big honking gyros. Yeah, and there's 4 of them. That thing is what keeps the space station literally on an even keel. And then the Z1 also has the S-band. Yeah, that's the S-band antenna, and then there's another one over here. I don't know why it's down in this, but there's 2 redundant S-band antennas on that thing. And you could see the latch right there. That's how it went into the shuttle payload bay. And then there's the payload keel port. So this thing, that little triangular thing with the peg, would have been riding down here somewhere. When they put it in the shuttle's payload bay, they took it off. Now turn that into 3D printer code and make an ISS. Oh, you're killing me, man. Okay, so this will use monoprop. That should be fine. We shouldn't have to go too nuts with with this here. So I'm going to put the monopropellant tanks there. But yeah, that should be a good idea. Oh, here's the thought. For EVA work, you're going to want ladders strung across it. Yeah. Loop, I don't know. I mean, the ladders are physics-less parts, dude, and we can use them. They're physics-less parts, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. The big Telus deployable ladder, yeah. That's actually not bad. I actually kind of liked it up on the top rung here. You know, Kerbals would be able to grab this thing. Once again, the ladder is also a physics-less part. Now, don't get me wrong, physics-less parts aren't your end-all be-all solution, but to like optimization, but they definitely help. I'll put them down here for when they're running the struts to the modules. So, I mean, it's going to clip in a little bit, but that's okay. Oh, wow. That is a big gyro, Hell Hydra. They look to be about 1 meter. It's big, man. That's the biggest gyros that are flying in space by a long shot. Loopy, I kind of like putting him here because it makes this thing look like it's a lot more interconnected than it actually is. So, like, if you're looking at it this way, it's creating parallax. Don't get me wrong, they'd be good to be on the diagonal, but I don't mind that. That's fine. You know what? I don't like the whole... I don't like putting this here. You know what? I'm going to put the docking... Or I'm going to put the... I'm going to put the probe core, like, right there. That's good. They need to keep running all the time to keep the ISS pointing upwards all day, right? Yeah, for the most part, dude. They've been running for, like, 20 years. Yeah, they've been running for a long time. One hand egg. 15 minutes, bro. We got them top and bottom. Took the... Yeah. Batteries on the ends to help bridge the ladders in. going to enjoy the Patriots failing. I mean, they're probably going to get railed. Buffalo's too good right now. Like, I have no problem admitting that. Like, they're really good, man. I actually kind of like Josh Allen, but don't tell anybody. Actually, Lube, I'm going to want these to be pushed in just a couple of ticks, actually where I had them before. And with the thrusters outward, because we still have to put an alignment mechanism in on this thing. This module is going to end up being a good amount of parts, but that's okay. It's the core module. It can be like that. They're temp power for the module, Ian. I just got to put them in directions where this thing will get sun from pretty much all angles. Most of the components will be launched on Collins Hawks. Most? Yeah, the reason I say most is because I wholly plan on launching, trying to launch as much of this station on the shuttle as I possibly can. But sometimes sometimes stuff doesn't go to plan, dudes. It's just kind of how it is. Yeah, Loopy, we could do that. Less parts, too. Actually, top and bottom should be like that. That should be fine. Are we going to use Jebstone? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Do you get frustrated by this wave of hate Elon is getting online? No. Hopefully the Pats defense doesn't fall flat on its face. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Bandit. I appreciate it. Hey, watching. You're bummed that Australian Prime doesn't have access? That sucks, man. Exactly, Lube. That was my thoughts too. It'll look right. So let me get my kind of outer truss segments here. What are we looking at here? Anything? Yeah, cool. Oh, dude, this is gonna look so rad when it's done. Oh my goodness. And then, Luby, another thing that we could do is if we put ladder modules on other things, we can use the ladders as our alignment. Ladder modules can literally be our alignment mechanism. We need pins for the station modules down below as well. Yeah. It's looking sweet. Past decade hasn't gone to waste. Thanks, man. Thanks, mate. I wonder, can KSP do inward conical colliders? If you would make these could do the jobs of thermal bearings easier. It has to be a convex collider, or else you have to fudge the thing. Long story short, I could make a taper, like a tapered mating pin like that. I could do it. I could model one, and we could fudge the collider. The collider would have to be a higher resolution, but yeah, you can only do convex colliders. But yes, I could fake it. We could do that. The thing is, you can only do convex colliders, but what you can do is literally make the hitbox out of multiple pieces of geometry and then parent them all together and literally make this. Like, okay, so, Agalex, hear me out. Like, I could make a taper by making a collider shape, right, and then parenting 3 smaller shapes to it and then literally rotating them in like that. That'll create a taper. And that doesn't violate the concave collider rule that Unity uses. There's a country to the right of US. It's called Hawaii. Hawaii is to the left of the United States firework. If you're looking at it on a map, it's west. West is left on a north-oriented map. Are you drunk? And Hawaii is a state. It's not a country. It was its own country. It was the Kingdom of Hawaii, and then the U.S. annexed it. NA education serious? Hey, what's the capital of Georgia? The country, not the state. 5 seconds. so you don't Google it. Shoreline, is your name serious? It's Tbilisi, yeah. Atlanta! Your mom. Yeah, British education, am I right? Yeah, it's okay. Who was the ruler of ancient Rome in 534 BC? I don't know, but that was the last emperor, one of the last emperors of 534 BC? I have no idea. Soviet education says Moscow. In Soviet Russia, history teaches you teach history. Wait. History teaches you. Yeah, exactly, Aqualex, yeah. Did you ever decide on how to do the rails? If I recall correctly, you were thinking of pistons driving it, but how are you going to keep it in place? I'm going to put a thermometer on the back side of the shuttle right here, and the thermometer will hold it against the I-beam so it doesn't move. But in order to get that shuttle thing to work correctly, Aqualex, we need... The hydraulic needs to be on one side, and it needs to be able to extend all the way to the other side. Understand? So yeah, that's gonna be fun in its own way. Yeah, that's gonna be great. Making this the first element wouldn't make this have so many redundant systems in the future, and we can EVA and just remove them, Ivan, as we go. And just take them off. Kerbal EVA, dude. That's why I put the ladders on there. We'll take the solar panels off, put them somewhere else, or just take them off and just bring them back down on a shuttle. Yeah, man. So this thing ended up being about 100 parts. What about having one MBS station at each end of the truss with pistons, so each only has to go halfway? So you're saying have one attachment piece right here and have it go there, and then another attachment piece there and have it go that way? Tesla Semi launches soon. Okay. Could you not drive it into the negatives? It could be centered if you could. Hydraulics? I don't think so. Guys, I wanted to go watch the football game, so I'm gonna sit the Tesla Semi thing out. We can watch it tomorrow. I'll ask this, is a Tesla semi necessary? If Tesla C, I mean, Tesla sees a good enough need to build it, so yeah, I would probably guess yes. Your team playing tonight? Yep. Not even with cows. Yeah, Jason, I don't think you can negatively clock that field. What I was thinking... I have an idea. No, that's not going to work. I need to see something here. I'm going to go back to Jared's animation here. I don't think I could do that, Adino sign. Yeah, the MBS was brought up as its own payload. Okay. Yeah, PBJ, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, the Forge, we're gonna stream that. I was working on an Airbus 2 nights ago, and it was so windy that it was screwing with the radar altitude, and the plane thought it was in the air. Plane was pissed off. Really, Killer Taco? That's crazy, man. Funny, but that's a little nuts. I don't know who made the MBS REM, to be honest with you. So the other thing that I was thinking is, guys, if I have a truss segment here, and that truss segment has a hydraulic with a docking port on it on the end, the docking port would be facing kind of in the same orientation as here, and whatever we choose to make for the MBS, we can retain it with same vessel collision on the I-beams and have a thermometer in back here riding as the latch to the rail, right? And if I have hydraulics that go all the way, that basically could drive that docking port to line up with this one, right? No, that wouldn't be able to work. It would have to drive basically right to just to here, and then we could attach the mobile base system, and then have another docking port here, and that one receives the hydraulics from the other one, and it could shuttle back and forth. I'm not, dude. That's, and we could bind the whole thing to a cow controller, so one. No, that's not going to work. The stroke of the hydraulic would have to go all the way over here. It wouldn't be able to just go to center. No, that's not going to work. Yeah, Loopy, that's what we could do. Yeah, we could have them on a rotor with a hydraulic that can extend all the way out here. And It could work like when I made the tank treads. You remember the tank treads? You remember what I did with the double rotor system and the telescoping and expanding piston would go around with it to make the treads one vehicle? We could do that here. But, Loopy, my thing is how would we... A small rover that goes to either end. Use a chain to connect. Using a chain to connect the rover would basically lock it in on the tracks. Yeah. Yes, necklace. Yeah. I think one long piston is best. Yeah, Jason, I agree. Jason, it might be prudent though to give a locking, like a resting position, with the hydraulic on this truss segment going all the way across, see our master docking port there? It might be good to have a docking port on the MBS so when it gets to this position, it locks into place. So if we time warp or something, it's not going to bend or break the hydraulics. Does that make sense? All right. Cool. I'm happy with this, guys. We finished the core module. We finished the core truss segment. That thing should be good to go. We got to give it mounting points so it can sit inside of the shuttle's payload bay. But yeah, it's should be good. Tesla semi-truck event is live. Yeah, passing. We're gonna either lock out the hydraulic, so we could lock the hydraulics, auto strut them in that stowed dock position right in the center. Yeah, that'll work. It'll work good. That's what I did with mine, only without the hydraulic. There's a docking port hidden on the backside. Yeah, Jason, I see what you did there. Oh, Mark II deployed payload bays. Cool. I agree, Aqualex. Multiple latching point positions would probably be a good idea. Last, please. Super hard science alert. Nature making a traversable wormhole with a quantum computer. A qubit teleported across our Sycamore processor exhibits the dynamics expected from crossing a transversable wormhole, opening up the possibilities to test quantum gravity theories. That's... Yep. I understood some of those words. Alright, guys. I'm gonna pack it in. That's good. We made good work. Tomorrow, with the exception of the B-21 event, is going to be all Kerbal. Okay. So, I want to go watch some Hand Egg tonight. I will probably... I'm going to end up streaming on Monday, so... Yeah, so I'm going to be pretty much here Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday again. So, yeah, we're losing a little bit of stream time tonight, but you've been net gaining this week.